Down.
What is going on today, guys? Epic Snack Time here. Figured I would break up my usual YouTuber's life weekend streams or weekend videos with a little bit of Kerbal Space Program. Kind of did a question on my Twitch or on my Twitter to see if that would be something that people would be interested in, and it definitely turned out that it would be. I guess just to kind of give a break to the every weekend kind of thing. So we're going to get in and play the first couple of missions of Kerbal Space Program. I absolutely love this game. This game is amazing. The the little Kerbals are just, oh, here, I'll actually go back. Little Kerbals are just so awesome. They're so cute too. They're all green, which makes them all alien-y, which looks cool. Moon or bust, which is awesome. We'll do this. Well, we'll actually make it moon or bust. That sounds fun. We'll leave it as the standard career. See, let's pick a cool. We'll do this one. I actually like that one. Could do like Kerbin, but that one actually looks pretty cool. The little robot guy. Normal career mode. You have to manage all aspects of your space program. Funds, reputation, and science are all active, and contracts are available at mission control. Difficulty settings normal. So our crew respawns if we kind of have anything go haywire. Starting funds 25,000. So yeah, we will do that. And let's get in here and start. And before we get too far, if you do enjoy Kerbal Space Program or anything on the channel, definitely leave a like on it. It greatly helps out the channel and lets me see that people are actually truly enjoying everything. And once we get in, we see Mr. Gene Kerman welcoming us into the Kerbal Space Program. And I have actually already read that, played through this a couple of times, but not too much after or since their update. But let's see, we can, let's see, gather scientific data from Kerbin. That should be actually fairly easy to begin with. And launch our first vessel. We can only take a max of two contracts at a time, or currently at a time. We can't escape the atmosphere just yet, and we can't orbit Kerbin just yet either. So that was mission control. You've also got the spaceplane hangar, which we won't get to quite yet. We've got the astronaut complex where all of our little Kerbal knots stay. We've got the admin building, which you can kind of go in and tweak around what you want to put your money towards once you get in and get up enough money. You can go in here and change around, like if you want more science or more reputation or more money for each thing. Giant research and development, which is where we're going to spend all of our science points to upgrade um, our vehicles and planes and everything else. And our tracking station, the launch pad, and the vehicle assembly building, or the VAB, which is where we are actually headed first to create our first little vessel so we can kind of pop up off the ground and take a little bit of sciencey stuff so we can finish those first contracts. And once we get in here, we are greeted by Werner von Kerman. Interesting little name, kind of like Warner von Braun, I think is what it was. Yeah. And he just basically explains what the VAB is. And first, you need to start out with a command module so you can have a little Kerbin in there. Or Kerbal, I guess I should say, because he's not anything else really. And we will toss on a solid fuel booster that we have right now is a Flea, which has a mass of 1.5. And if you go down here, you can see the engineer's report of the max parts you can have currently in the VAB, I do believe, and then the mass that the launch pad can actually handle. And you have a total height, total width, and that's all based in the VAB. The mass is mainly based out there on the launch pad. So let's go in here. We don't really need any structural girders. We don't per se need a wing, but I guess if we want to, just for science, we can toss about 3 of those on there. Just keep it nice and straight. But we will need a parachute as long as we are planning on going up. But technically, I could actually do something else. I am going to toss, yeah, we'll go ahead and toss 3 of those on there. And I am actually going to derate this quite a bit. We'll cut it in about half. Let me scoot that part back up just a tear. There we go. And that actually should be good. And you can actually, now with the update, you can kind of move these around. And even in flight, you can kind of pin them where they're at and toss them over there to the side, still be flying around. And so let's get rid of that. We will get rid of that. We are still within our limits, well within our limits. And so let's get our staging corrected. We will have our booster go off, and then um, we'll have our parachute go. Let's see who's piloting this. We've got Jebediah Kerman, our engineer Bill, our scientist Bob, and our other pilot Valentina. But we'll go ahead and get good old Jeb up a couple of levels, or at least a little level. Not going to worry about adding a name to this just yet. So let's go ahead and launch this. Gentle music, always helpful. Alright, and now we are out on the launch pad, just the first little stage launch pad. Nothing too crazy. And we can hit, we can go up to, I think it's Z to go full throttle. We don't really have an SAS at the moment. Well, actually we kind of do. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to pull this one over here and pin you there. And pull you over here and pin you there. And then I'll grab you and put it right there. Now, since we are here on the launch pad, I can actually go ahead and I'll observe the very back one. And it'll take just a second to open up. And Goo doesn't seem to be doing much right now from the launch pad. We get 3 science from that already. And as we pop off the ground, I can observe that one, which is flying at Kerbin. We'll try to tilt ourselves just ever so slightly to see if we can get to another possible little biome. Probably not so much. But if we can make it over here to the shores, which we might actually, still traveling quite fast. And I actually do want to do a crew report. And that gets us 3.5 science. The shore's look inviting, and you watch the waves roll against the coast. And so, is this over the shores? Well, it's still flying at Kerbin, but I will still take it. And we have a slow descent here. See if we can speed it up just a tad. And I do believe we should be fine to work just a hair faster. And I'll go ahead and pop the chute there. And return it back to normal speed. Because that chute should be just fine. I will turn SAS off so we flip back around in just a moment once it does deploy. And woo! Fun. Let's go ahead and warp just a little faster. Just before we make contact with the water. Because as this goes down, this is actually to sea level. There is a little gauge inside that does tell how far you are above ground. because that comes in handy whenever you're trying to land on hills and it's saying you're still 1,000 feet in the air and you hit the edge of the ground over here. And you're like, I'm not close yet, but you are, really. Okay, so that parachute is taking quite a while, but we are fixing to make contact, and then we can just recover the vessel, and that completes both of those contracts, actually. I'll go ahead and slow it back down. And if you go over here, it will tell you that we completed this contract. We got nearly 4 grand. We got 1 science and 1 reputation just for that. And for the other milestones, we got a little bit more uh, money and some little bit of science here and there, and some more reputation. We broke 25 meters per second. We launched our first vessel. We broke a speed record of 80 meters per second, broke an altitude of 500 meters. Everything else, that's a lot of milestones, that's for sure. And we'll toss all that. Actually, we'll toss all that. And that's the first milestones as well. And now that we are landed, we can recover the vessel. And then it gives us a summary of everything that we just did. We did 5 experiments that were recovered. We got flying over Kerbin shores, which was 3.5 science. Got flying at Kerbin, which that's strange. They kind of got 2 different datas. Whatever. We got the mystery goo at the launch pad, and we recovered the vessel, and that's, I do believe, the no, there's the crew report. Okay, never mind. Got the parts back, which gives us back that and that, and we got 20 reputation. He gained 1 experience, which is good. Now we've got 29 science. Can we spend it on anything? Yes, we actually can. Quite a bit, actually. Oh, we can go ahead. We basically start with this, which kind of gives us all the parts that you saw previously. And there's certain mods where this actually changes. This is the start where you start off with manned missions. You can start off, if you get a certain mod, to start off with just remote controlled stuff, which I'm not that brave. That stuff is kind of difficult and fairly tricky. So I'm just starting off basic vanilla. I don't think I have any mods on that I recall. I might, but not that I can remember right offhand. So this one for Engineering 101 does get us a Science Junior, which does get us quite a bit of science, but it is also quite heavy. It is zero point 0.2 tons, which once you add up getting bigger and bigger, it does start to weigh down. But we do need it for the next stage either way. The next couple of stages, survivability and stability. Stability wouldn't be too bad. We get the little winglets and the radial decouplers, but we will do basic rocketry, which gives us the swivel engine, which does have a gimbal on it, so we can kind of tilt ourselves even without wings and everything else, and it allows it to kind of move a little bit easier. And we do get a fuel tank, which has 45, I don't know what kind of, I don't know if that's like gallons or what, and then some oxidizer, we'll go ahead and get that. And that also unlocks general rocketry, which gives us the bigger engine and the bigger fuel tank and the bigger engine. And also this SRB, the Thumper, which is relatively large. So we're not going to worry about that one for now. We will go ahead and get survivability. That gives us the little radiator panels, and we got some micro landing struts, which I don't think we'd need those yet. Got drogue chutes and radial mounted parachutes, and the service bay, which is quite handy because you can kind of tuck all your fancy science experiments into that. And we got our heat shield, which is greatly needed once you get up to a certain height, and you're coming back down through some atmosphere. Kind of needed on that part, at least. And that also unlocked flight control, which, yeah, looks like I do have one of the mods on, which is MechJeb, but I doubt I will use it because it can be a little tricky as well. So that has the inline reaction wheel, a couple of winglets. What is this down here? This is the basic science. Oops. Basic science has the sat or the scan radar, which I think may be part of the mod as well. Um, if you want me to use that, I can. If you don't want me to use anything in the mods, I can definitely take them off before the next video. And this also comes with the Staputnik, which is a Probodobodine core, which is one of the remote controlled ones that you can do. And I don't know if I've got I don't think I'm running the experimental version where they've actually added in the bases and all that stuff. And it also comes with some batteries, some more experiments, and radiation panels, and an antenna, which is very handy once we get out a little bit further. So that completed those two contracts. So let's go into mission control. And first, we will see if there's anything that we can take that's not too difficult. To test the stack decoupler is actually really easy, so we will take that. And let's see, is this at a certain height? That is at a certain height, which is annoying. That is to haul that into 10 or 11 to 15. Test that in suborbital. This is, yeah, that's certain. These kind of get really difficult, and we're not ready to do all that yet. They're observational surveys of Kerbin, which you have to go to a certain point, which this one is Eileen's Rise, and have to be in a flight above 19 to do a crew report. They get a little tricky because you have to actually make the space planes, or make the planes in general. This one's mainly flux. We're not going to deal with those. And Valentina's anomaly, not going to worry about that. Or sector G9V, which if you do one of these, then it adds in a couple of more, which will have you flying to a couple of different places and all at once. And it's rather annoying. I thought I just took that. So the two active ones we have are the stack and the radial decoupler landed at Kerbin, and I can actually go ahead and complete that practically immediately. I will go back into the VAB, and all we'll have to do is change around a couple of things on the spacecraft that we had, our little puddle jumper basically, and then we can do that just landed basically. I can take this whole thing off, and I can actually take this whole thing off and do this. Do a stack decoupler here, and I'll do well, I'll actually put this on the bottom. We'll put the stack one on the very tippy top, and I will have its force brought all the way down, and this one's force brought all the way down as well, because you don't actually have to decouple anything. You basically just have to go out there and say everything is running perfect. Let me get rid of these two. And I actually want both of these in the same stage. Normally you wouldn't put two decouplers in the same stage, but this one will be quite easy. And then I think that will be it for today. We'll see about getting these contracts done and see what we can do for the next time. I'll just zoom in here. Don't have to worry about throttle or anything. We just hit space to activate both of those. And there you go. Both of the contracts completed. And then we just simply recover the vessel. I don't think that leaves debris out there, but it might, so I don't know about that part. But usually they don't. Let me see if it says, okay, no experience gain, okay. So it didn't leave anything out there. I don't think we got but like a couple of science here and there. And well, let's see, is there anything that we can do? We can do the test, the heat shield. Which that's at 21. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard to do. And can we test? Oh, that's at 48. Okay. Um, That's suborbital. The flight above, let's see, that's the parachute. Which one did I just get? I just got the heat shield. And this is the parachute at 11 to 15. This heat shield is between 21 and 26. So I will actually see if we can't do both of that. That's the Mark 16 parachute above Kerbal between 11 and 15. I think I will go ahead and take that. We do have quite a bit of money, so I am actually going to see about, if you right click on any of these buildings here, you can kind of see where you can bring up the upgrade menu, and I think we might be able to upgrade this, but I don't know if we need to do it yet. I'll actually see what we need to, we'll see what we need to do to get that into that general um, area for us to complete those two contracts in the next one, guys. So if you do enjoy this series and want to see more of it, then leave a like. If you want to see this as well, go ahead and drop a subscribe on the channel. All the likes and subs definitely help. I love seeing all the people come in to visit the channel. And if you do like it, so it helps me out just to see how many people actually enjoy it. So if you're wanting to see more, then definitely leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys.